Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are here with what was supposed to be last Monday's video, and we are doing it on an issue dealing with a one of the insurrectionists from January the 6th, Jessica Watkins. She is a transgender member of the Oath Keepers. She was put on trial. She was found guilty. But she is being sent to a prison full of men. She is a she now. She has not been a he for over 2 decades. I think that's what's been said. It's been over 20 years. Ow. But yeah. Sentenced to more than 8 years in prison on Friday for the role in the insurrection. Watkins apologized for her role and said she accepts, that she should be held responsible. However, she is being sentenced to a prison that is all male. Before being sentenced, she says, "I was just another idiot running around the hallway." Let's see. Co-defendants Rhodes and Meggs were sentenced a day before to 18 and 12 years respectively. Now, yeah, also found guilty of obstruction of official proceeding, interfering with law enforcement officers, while Maida and Watkins' role was not that of Rhodes or Meggs. She was told your role in those events is more than that of Just. Let's see. Talking about the police officers having PTSD. Yeah, I understand now that my presence in and around the Capitol that day probably inspired those individuals to a degree, she said. They saw us there, and that probably fired them up. So yeah, and like I said, she was a member of the Oath Keepers, which is what's funny because she's trans. Knowing groups, hate groups like the Oath Keepers, yeah, I'm surprised they let her in. Uh, do, 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 do. Let's see. And there's more information. Uh, Nearly a decade in jail for the January 6th related. So, the last article from The Advocate didn't say anything about her, the place she's being sentenced to, but it's something I've already heard of a lot. Law and Crime, talking more about her being sentenced. Now, let's see. This is from LGBTQ Nation. This probably will say something about it. She's begging Marjorie Taylor Greene to get her into a women's prison. Because, like I said, she's been a woman for the last 20 years. But, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene's not wanting to acknowledge it at all. Yeah, she's worried about being sent to a men's prison because she's transgender. And she's asking her followers to get Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan to pressure the Federal Bureau of Prisons to place her in a woman's prison. But Greene, Gaetz, Jordan have all expressed anti-LGBTQ plus views in the past and are unlikely to support trans women being housed in women's prison. So yeah, she fears she'll end up being put in a men's prison. And she's officially a woman now. She, like I said, she's been transitioned over the last 2 decades ago, I believe she said. But yeah, you know, the way some men are treated in prison, she, is not a man. Definitely has a lot more feminine features since she has transitioned for so long. And you know what will happen. I agree. They need to put her in a women's prison. You don't just do stupid stuff just because you disagree with how some people should be seen. But that's too damn bad. She is a woman. She is now officially female. But unfortunately, there are some idiots who still believe, she's a man. She's a man. No, she's not. And yeah, I've expressed it before. I believe the January 6th incident was stupid. And like I said, they more or less acted like a bunch of drunk college students. It's still something they shouldn't have done. Because, they had ill intent. It was just most of them acted like morons. I hate to tell you this, hun. MTG, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, they're on the side of hate. They aren't going to help you. It's just a fact. I believe she should be put in a woman's prison. I mean, this is why there's probably definitely a need for prison reform. Well, hell, there is a need for prison reform. This is just another issue that needs to be fixed through prison reform. But yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. Yes, she needs to serve her sentence, but put her in a woman's prison. She's a woman. It don't matter what you were born as. If you have officially transitioned over, you went through all the hormone therapy to where now your body works through estrogen instead of testosterone. Yeah, you're now a woman. And that's where she should go. Women's prison. But anyway, I'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting the links I had in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.